Athletes, what's up? Pretty excited for this block. We got some good stuff to work on. This block is going to take us from next week all the way up until NorCal, which is crazy that it's only a 9-week period from here to NorCal. Getting my ass into shape, sore as hell, but I'm excited to be jumping in and doing all, not all, but the extreme majority of this training with you guys, depending on how my whole structure goes, you know what I mean? So let's go over what we're going to get on. This is our first and foremost, we're going to be doing some run thruster intervals. They're going to be a little spicy, and we're going to do them and progress on them, and they're going to get worse, and we're going to get way better at thrusters for it. You know what I mean? I've done this a lot in my career. I was horrible at both running and thrusters, and I've had to do a disturbing amount of these, and I know it sucks, but once you can really settle in and figure out your breathing and to really relax, you don't have to do your thruster fast. You know what I mean? You just have to stay in control with your breathing, exhaling actively, inhaling at the top, never holding your breath, and just letting yourself move with a light barbell. So if you can try to calm your shit down, it takes a lot of practice. Don't get me wrong. This took me thousands and thousands and thousands of reps to figure out. But you can relax while doing thrusters and running if you start to practice it. Okay, so as much as we're going to practice relaxing, we're also going to practice hauling ass at the same time. So these are going to be great. We're going to start out, and there's all the notes in there of how long this should take and all that jazz. But I want you guys to work on progressing or getting faster. This is something we're going to do quite a bit of, unfortunately. All right, so we're going to do that. And then this is all haphazard. It's not necessarily in a strategic order here, so no singular importance on any one given thing. We're going to be doing a bunch of overhead carries. This is something that you really want to take seriously for your joint health. So holding overhead and just finding your position that takes no muscle. It just stacks your bones. That's our goal. Stack them freaking bones. Don't be a meathead and over muscle it. Nobody can hold that shit for long. So find your spots that stacks, and you can hold it for forever, okay? So that's your job during this. If you have an earthquake bar, like you guys that go to Power Stroke, you have the earthquake bar that's in the corner. Grab that, throw the bands on there. You can also do the bands and the kettlebells on the sides with the regular barbell. It's just a little bit heavier, so use light kettlebells. That totally works if you're confident with that. It's just a little bit different, I'll say. Okay, so you can do that, or just a straight up overhead carry. Can't fuck this up. We just want to spend time getting strong and stable overhead. That will make your shoulders so much healthier and way less painful. And your wrists too. 5K row, engines, baby. That's gonna hurt a little bit, but shit, we're gonna be good rowers after this, okay? So we're gonna do some rowing, weightlifting with higher percentages outside of a Metcon or any high heart rate setting. So last block, we kind of came out of a setting where we were trying to do our lifting under more fatigue, like our 10 reps for time. Now we're stepping back and we're letting this kind of go on its own and really take your time and focus on it. One of the things I like to think of, and this is going for weightlifting of pretty much everything, so heavy singles and back squat, split jerk, snatch, deadlift. We're doing just kind of heavy single lifting in general. And when we're focusing on this, your idea is to gain your confidence at heavy loads, moving it like the way you want to move it. So we all know, like, when you're squatting and you're squatting with warm-up weight, we can just straight bury it and hit your turnaround, and then all of a sudden 405 comes on and we kind of shy it to like here. Fuck that, okay? Use the bottom. The turnaround helps you. This is the biggest. I had one of my biggest weaknesses when I started CrossFit was squatting. I could bench 335 and squats full depth 185 when I started. Ridiculous. But so I had to do a lot of, and I still suck at squatting, but you have to use the turnaround and you have to hit full range, or else you never get fully stronger. So no matter what, even if that hits your ego a little bit, like, I mean, I was squatting 185 pounds for reals. So don't let that stop you. Work to get to the bottom of your squat. Once you can find the turnaround and really use your hips to the bottom of the squat, I promise you squats get easier and you will get so much stronger. So heavy singles with this, I don't know, I got off on a tangent on the squat here, but of all of our heavy singles, your job is to just get your confidence doing them well. A lot of people will try to over analyze and think of like, I need more PVC work or 95-pound barbell or 95, 65-pound bar snatches and cleans and stuff. It's like, I mean, sure, when you're trying to figure shit out for the very first time and like understand the concept, yes. But once we understand what we're doing for the most part, you need to practice doing it with heavy loads. That's the only way to get good at doing it with heavy loads. Like everybody can snatch, that knows how to snatch, can snatch 95, decent, or 95, 65, you get my point. But all of a sudden, can you do that with 225? It's like, well, that's a different fucking ball game. It's like, yeah. So we got to practice that ball game. So that's how I want you to view this weightlifting. Don't harp on, I'm getting 1 reps. This is my 1 rep max. If you view it that way, you're just setting yourself up for a lot of shit that's unnecessary. So just show up, lift as heavy as you fucking can with good positions, and finding confidence in just knowing like, hey, when I walk up to this bar, no matter what lift I'm talking about, I'm making a good lift. It's not a we'll see what happens and you just like, muscle through it, because the reps I'm talking about. When you smoke a good lift, it's just like, okay, that was solid, that was easy. And then you can make lifts where you make it happen. You're like, what the fuck? Like, that was foul. Don't do those. The more you practice those, the more likely you are to repeat those. So hold yourself good reps. Swimming and biking and running once a week, same concept as last block. That's a bigger macro structure, and that pretty much is going to stay. I mean, this is what I do nonstop. Like, granted, I've been a slacker and I haven't been swimming. I've been biking now and running, but yeah, I haven't been swimming. I need to get on that because freaking NorCal's coming up. So all you guys are doing NorCal too. This is us. We got to be triathletes a little bit too. Okay, so swimming once a week, zone 2 bike once a week, zone 2 run once a week. For those guys that are in Fallon, I do the Soda Lake run every Thursday. I know a bunch of you guys do, and that is not zone 2. That is push yourself, but don't panic, and just take what's there. And if you can get another zone 2 run in, that's a true zone 2, that's cool too. Like, that's ideal. But I tell you what, there's nothing that beats that Soda Lake run in my mind. It's the best thing I've ever done for my fitness. I promise you that. So if you guys are watching and part of the program and you're not in Fallon, get a hill trail run somewhere and get on uneven ground and change elevation and get athletic, do goofy shit. Sometimes I'll lunge down hills or do like crab walks down hills and shit like that. It's kind of weird, but if you can get your hips and everything to be athletic and moving well, that pays off so much in the gym and health-wise too. So that's on our swim, bike, and running. Rope-a-dope, this is cool. We're gonna be focusing, and that goes, so we're focusing on this stuff outside of Metcon, and same thing with our skill work and volume. Our skill work, we're doing volume accumulations and kind of like structured practice pieces that don't have any set lines. So during this off season or summertime area, this time of year, our job is to kind of like hammer down and chase out every individual aspect of fitness. So our weightlifting, our gymnastics, all our stuff, our running, our rowing, and do it separate and get good at it. And then once we get closer into the competition season, we start condensing it and practicing it more as a sport. So you're gonna notice this is a lot more, there's less of a focus. We still do Metcons for sure. CrossFit Metcons, absolutely, we'll always do those. But the focus is definitely more on everything else. And then we do Metcons because we're fucking crackhead CrossFitters, okay? So, and we got to practice CrossFit to get good at CrossFit. So this rope-a-dope every 30 seconds for 20 sets. We're going to do one version of your rope climb every 30 seconds for 20 sets. So, whether that's with your feet, whether that's alternating, one rep you go legless, the next rep you go with legs, or one legless every third, or whatever, all legless. This is our job, is just to accumulate hard versions of rope climbs and start to be able to tolerate some serious volume with that, build up your strength and pulling capacity, and that's how you get better at rope climbs. I think that's pretty much everything that we're working on, guys. That's the laid out structure. As always, your job as an athlete is to take, this is a general program. Everybody's a little bit different. If you're super freaking beat up and you need to skip something or change something out or whatever, you can't train if you're not healthy. So make sure you guys make those decisions smartly. I try to do a pretty good job in the notes. I'm trying in these videos. I'm just trying to talk like you guys were here, and just there's not that many of us on the program. We're all just my friends. So I'm just talking to all my friends here. But you guys aren't idiots. You know your shit. Just adjust as you need to. Stay healthy. You can't train if you're not healthy. So stay healthy. If you're a little bamboozled on something you got going on and you're not sure how to do it, shoot me a message on whatever platform, and I'll definitely help you iron that stuff out as best I can. Again, depending on, got 2 under 2. I know you guys know my response times are not the fucking most fast right now, but I will get back to you for sure. All right, so I think that's all I got. Let's have a good block, and I'm excited to get in shape doing NorCal with you guys. Let's fucking go.